started this move, possibly just got a little bit hampered himself, and it looks like almost a story told at the moment, but there's still 5.7 kilometers to go. Van der Poel, imperious at the moment, is having fun while everyone else is having a nightmare, but it's not over yet. And watch Del Toro grinding into this one. He's been a man of very few words over the last few days, and in fact, even when he is talking to indeed everyone around him, it's kind of pinched really. He's keeping his light under a bushel. Well, he's got to indeed chop that down right now and indeed expose himself, you might say. Well, it's Mathieu van der Poel who has gone. He's showing a clean wheel to everybody except Del Toro. Looks like he might have the measure of him. Let's wait and see. Slowly but surely he's coming back, and Giulio Pellizzari is not to be discounted. It's between these three at the moment.
It's a great ride by the young Italian. It's just about both of these riders rode the Tour de l'Avenir a couple of years ago, battling it out, but it does look like there is a good chance that these two could get back on terms with a flying Mathieu van der Poel. The road flattens a bit now. There's a slight descent, as you can see, minus 2%, but look at the devastation behind this race. This Tirreno Adriatico on these white, damp roads has been detonated by the acceleration, the class of the former world gravel champion. But he's loving this. He's got his teeth stuck in. This isn't over yet. 5Ks to go.
It's not over at all, and Matteo Jorgensen must be wondering what on earth went wrong within that. Just a lean angle on an unstable surface could happen to absolutely anybody, and even the very best, as Jorgensen proves. Meanwhile, this man, Mathieu van der Poel, renowned, of course, for his bike handling skills on uneven surfaces, is absolutely churning it. The problem for him is that he's got company, and in fact, he can't shake it out just yet. I don't think he particularly wants to shake it out at this moment. He may well leave it for an explosive finale, but he's going to have to deal with some real talent, of course, around him as well. That's a long, long gap between this group that we've just witnessed, led by Pippo Ganna. Primož Roglič is also in here. Julian Alaphilippe looked extraordinarily. It's Hindley. It is, in fact. Alaphilippe was lively earlier on. Hindley folding over to add something to it, and the rain is still coming down here, which adds yet more uncertainty to this very skittly surface.
It's really, really good fun. There was a little bit of tarmac back onto the Tirreno now, but the flying Mexican has latched onto the wheel of number one. Pellizzari, 4Ks to go now, latches on, so we've got three riders in front. Van der Poel, Pellizzari and Isaac Del Toro, 16 seconds back to the second group on the road.
It's a modest gap, you have to say, 16 seconds. But when you look at the firepower that's up the road, and now they are working together, comes through, takes the duty, Del Toro. Pellizzari backs off and allows Van der Poel to drop in, but don't discount Pellizzari. Big squeak.
Dab.
Oh, my goodness. Dab down, and again, 3 times now. Has he got any grip within his cleats? Doesn't seem so. Issuing some spittle here is Giulio Pellizzari, and it's Del Toro takes advantage, brilliantly so. He kicks on. He'll be the radio screaming in his ear. Likewise will Van der Poel, possibly trying to issue some calm, but just check this out.
This is just how loose this surface is. Watch out. First back wheel go is the Mexican. Then there's another back wheel from Van der Poel who dabs, clips in, misses his pedal, and then has to have a secondary dab, loses a lot of momentum, opening up the gap to the Mexican in front, who checks the gap, and look, straight on the pedals. He knows he's got to exploit every single moment, but I think Van der Poel with the biggest station, well, there he is. He's back on terms. What a thriller this is. Entertainment Royale.
Absolutely. Well, he's got the adrenaline now just kicking into the system likewise, so don't think this is over. Oh, and it is for others. On the deck, I'm afraid. That's a nightmare for Arendsman, and it's exactly the same point. Yeah, it is exactly the same corner with 44 seconds now, the gap back to Ghana. Oh, and others here have found themselves on the deck. The Panamanian champion, that is Quintana as well, slewing here. Everyone having to dab the brakes, and what a nightmare. But, of course, I guess you might say the drama here is going to be a day that nobody's going to forget. They've thrown so much into this one, and now, with 3 kilometers to go, we have a trio here, a trident, mimicking, of course, the trophy that displays this race. They're going to have to almost have an ancient god will, I think, today, and some special powers as well to bring this one home. Could be any one of these three.
Yeah, it could be any one of these three. Pellizzari wisely is sat on refusing to do any of the pacemaking. But a great bit of riding, paced himself on that climb, but look at the willingness here of Isaac Del Toro to get stuck in. The reason why, he's going to move into the race lead quite potentially, even if he gets gapped a little bit by Van der Poel. We know Van der Poel was well over a minute and a half behind. There's a 10, 6 and 4 second time bonus up for grab, but this is to take a chunk out of the race lead. He knows that he needs to keep opening the gap, and look at what's happened behind. They've got a minute on the group of Ghana in the space of 4 Ks. That's just down to sheer ability because of the climbing nature of this course, and also due to their technical ability on the gravel.
Arensman is 2 minutes and 14 down after taking his time being winded, and this is a question of just trying to moderate what has just happened out front. Wout van Aert in the wrong place at the wrong time, maybe the wrong place at what for others was definitely the right time. You had to be up towards the pointy end, but it didn't serve Ghana very well indeed, and the rain is now falling gently but constantly at the finish. As you can see, we've got a spattered lens for you right now with 2 kilometers to go until this 24 seconds is the gap.
Just looking at the time difference on the GC, Pellizzari only 1 second behind Isaac Del Toro. So these time bonuses are going to be very interesting in relation to who ultimately leads the race. Mathieu van der Poel, a little bit too far back to take the jersey. He desperately wants to win the stage. Pellizzari, if he plays this one smart, he's got a bit of a kick at the end. With that, if he just finishes 1 place in front of the Mexican, there isn't a time gap, he will move into the jersey, because these are the 3 riders that should take the bonus seconds. But with 1,600 meters to go and back onto the tarmac, they've got 22 seconds on the chasing group. This is quite a hard section now. They go through the Flamme Rouge in 500 meters, then the road really starts to kick up at 12% before we takes us into the town.
White jersey, as you can see, part of the chasing group at a margin of 21 seconds. We'll be factoring in the performances within the time trial by the end of today, but it is the bird seat for this trio out front at the moment. 36 seconds was the deficit of Del Toro at the beginning of the day, but Ghana's at 46, as you can see. Pellizzari was at 37, so you factor in all of those things. We'll have bonuses, of course, as well to be added, and it looks like this trio are going to hoover those up. Still, we dare not call it because at the Flamme Rouge, which are meeting right now, thankfully they have dealt with the gravel, but the asphalt itself, and indeed the climb, is still very much to come to bring us up to our finale.
Yep. Isaac Del Toro has not even looked around for a little bit of help, and Mathieu van der Poel knows that he hasn't got to ride here. He will if he needs to a little bit, just to keep that momentum, because the chasing group are closing 16 seconds behind, and Giulio Pellizzari is riding out of his skin, 1 second behind Del Toro, but Del Toro is fully focused here. I think he knows that if he continues to ride like this, he won't win the stage. But it's about trying to move into the jersey. But I'm wondering if he's aware that Pellizzari is so close behind. I'm wondering if he's aware of the situation on the GC. Very, very interesting, because he hasn't looked around for any assistance. At the moment, it's advantage Pellizzari, if you ask me, to move into the jersey potentially.
22 years of age. We spoke of him in royal terms before we even came to the race, but he's actually doing a royal performance at the moment. Ghana's back in the vanguard by the looks of things with 600 meters to go, so he might be making amends for it. Let's have a look. 500 meters from home. Big sequence of turns, but they are more swooping than anything else. We have to do this big rondelle, if you will, and that's what we're seeing right now as we come into the Citadel. So here we are into the hoarded section. You can see the brollies are out as well, just hampering our vision momentarily. Pellizzari checks over his shoulder, wants to know how close the chasing group are. So do we, to be frank. But here we go. We turn into this very pinchy section, and it's going to be now 300 meters to go. Del Toro, has he got what it takes? Indeed, what's Van der Poel got? Does he come out of the saddle? Not just yet. He's biding his time. Van der Poel sent him, but Pellizzari drifts over to the other side of the road. Oh, and he's riding the barriers. This is absolutely superb. Giulio Pellizzari, who's been keeping his powder dry here. Van der Poel hasn't given up the ghost again. Comes up onto his shoulder. It's mano a mano. And here goes Van der Poel. Is he going to get the drive? He's got the right side of the road, but Pellizzari responds. And here comes Del Toro. It might even be a photo finish. 3 side by side at the line. On the throw, Van der Poel takes it. What a finish that was. Absolutely remarkable effort by all 3, and what a winner we have had. It could have been any single one of them, but in the end, it's Van der Poel who has been crowned on this amazing day.
What a win by Mathieu van der Poel. Del Toro, it looked like it was going to take it, coming by with a lot of speed. Van der Poel was running out of gas and was almost closed down by both of those prodigiously talented youngsters. But what an exciting finish to this stage. Van der Poel takes the stage that he so dearly wanted after an absence of stage win in this race last year. But boy, he was pushed to the very last by Pellizzari and Del Toro. But it is, well, we'll have to try and find out who actually got second place in the Colton and who's going to take the jersey, because Pellizzari and Del Toro separated by a second. Here is Filippo Ganna, who will drop down the overall rankings just a little bit, fighting all the way to the line. But we knew this was going to be a thriller. We knew it was going to be chaos, but when this rain started to fall, it just completely changed the face of this race. But this is a man that can tolerate and soak up the sort of punishment from a technical and a physical perspective. Van der Poel is your victor today.
Isaac Del Toro finishes in second place on the throw. Van der Poel takes it. Pellizzari, the brave, brilliant. And Mathieu van der Poel, his 58th career win, and one he will remember, and we most certainly will as well. What a remarkable day. Here he is. Nothing off